The quarterback of the San Diego State Aztecs, Ryan Lindley, joining us now on Extra Sports 1360. Ryan, congratulations on the opening win. No, it's good to get that one under your belt.
Yeah, it was. It was a great win, great way to start the season off.
Well, tell us a little bit about, Ryan, your wide receivers, because somebody told us you weren't supposed to have any wide receivers. It looked like you had a couple of fairly good performances the other night. Dylan Denso catches 2 TDs, Lockett catches 1 and sets up another. So for a team with no wide receivers, you guys, your kids played pretty well for you.
Yeah, those guys improved so much over this fall camp, and they've been putting in the work. They deserve a performance like that, and they'll just continue to get better and surprise a lot of people.
From your perspective, Ryan, because I'm not a scout, I can't tell what defenses are doing. How focused was Cal Poly on trying to stop Ronnie Hillman unsuccessfully? And does that seem like it opens things up a little bit more for you, especially when he gets going?
Yeah, I think they're more of a run-oriented team on defense. They try to stop the run and give up a little more in the passing game, and then they definitely try to do that. And then we had some one-on-one matchups, and we got guys involved like Colin and Dylan. They really got involved, and Gavin Escobar too. Another guy who's going to make a lot of plays for us.
Yeah, your play-action game is really impressive, and obviously in order to have a play-action game, Ryan, you've got to have yardage out of Ronnie Hillman. What are you seeing from him, watching him in a second go-around? I know he put on a little weight. He seems stronger. Seemed to me like every time he got hit the other night, he was pushing the pile forward, and that wasn't something that always happened last year.
Yeah, he's a guy. You definitely did a good job of doing that, gaining strength in the off season, and he's a talent. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. He's got a lot of God-given ability, and he uses it well. He had a great game Saturday night, and he'll continue to just improve like everybody else, and the sky's the limit for that guy.
As Chris mentioned earlier, you didn't even realize that you had set the San Diego State all-time passing touchdown record in that game. Now that you kind of soaked that up for a day or two, what does that mean to you?
You know, I think that's like I said afterwards, kind of just icing on the cake. You know, I'm glad it happened in a win. I'd hate it for being in a losing effort. So I mean, I think it's just a testament. And I'm thankful for all the guys I played with, and the lines I've had over the last 4 years have all been great. But awesome receivers, and that's really just a testament to those guys in my team.
Well, in listening to your coach, Rocky Long, heading into that game Saturday night, I mean, he was very concerned about the young wide receivers and the fact that you guys were such heavy favorites and everybody expected you to win. What was your guys' attitude going into that game as a football team? Because you looked like you went out there and decided to let's just go ahead and just dominate this team early and take over this game right away.
Yeah, I think we knew that we had the horses for it. I think we knew that we were the better team, but at the same time, regardless, when you open up any game, you know you just got to play to your potential. You got to do what you've been practiced, do what you've been coached to do, and if you do that, we know that we're confident in ourselves that we'll put out a good effort.
I know you've known Coach Long for a couple of years, but you know he's been the defensive coordinator. I can't imagine that you had too much interaction. Now camp is different. Now he's the head coach, but for the first game, how did you feel working with Coach Long, and what kind of vibe you got, and how comfortable that was with the new head coach?
Oh, it was great. I think, and we knew coming through camp and everything in spring ball that we're all real comfortable with him, and especially with what he does on defense, it's kind of similar. He's working with them a lot, so he doesn't get a whole lot involved in what we do, except if it comes down to maybe a fourth down conversion, he'll make the call on that, and then the head guy always does. But besides that, it's pretty similar, and he's handling things on defense, and they're doing a great job. And we kind of we look to Coach Ludwig at everything offensively.
I was going to ask you, so what about the new offensive coordinator, Andy Ludwig, the play calling? I mean, how similar did it feel to Coach Borges from last year? I mean, were you kind of on the same wavelength with Andy Ludwig in that first game?
Yeah, definitely. I think we did some great things on offense, some things we planned to do, and game plan for, and we executed it pretty well. I think there were small mistakes that we made as players, but it's something that we'll improve on, get better with, and I think as far as how we gelled with Coach Ludwig was great. We were really on the same page, knew what he wanted us to do, and went out there and did it.
Ryan Lindley is with us, the Aztecs quarterback. I thought that one of the key moments in the game, Ryan, a lot of people may have forgotten about it by the time it was over, but you guys are leading 14-7. You got 4th and goal at the 3-yard line, and I'll be honest with you, I am one of those guys who says, let's go for it, always go for it. But I didn't think you guys were going to go for it there, not 4th and that far to go. I figured you'd kick the field goal. And Coach Ludwig dialed up a great play. You flooded the zone to the right, and then Denso came across the formation to the left. Not only was it a good play call, but I would think as players it made you happy that Rocky Long showed the confidence in you guys to go for it right there. Definitely.
It's something as an offense, you're hungry, you're competitive. You want to go for it. You want to go for it on 4th and 4, even though most of the time if it's any longer than 2 yards, we're usually going to be punting or kicking. Even though as us guys and the guys in the trenches really want to get it pushing whenever it comes down to it. So it's great that Coach Long had a confidence in us and that we could come through and get it done.
Ryan, looking ahead to this week's game at Army, and I know we often focus on the negatives of travel, the disadvantages involved, but I would imagine, as a college student, you're going to get to travel across the country to go to a historic place like West Point. I'd imagine you're kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think it's a great honor to be able to go into a service academy like that, and especially West Point and all the tradition that they've had back there, and just the timing of it too. It'll be a great experience, but we also know it's a business trip. We're going to play football and get some work done.
Well, we need to give Ryan Lindley his equal time here now, Ben. Last week on the program, we had Miles Burris on, Ryan Lindley's roommate and the leader of the Aztec defense. Miles Burris, very clean cut, was talking about Ryan Lindley and the fact that he was a little bit, unshaven and a little bit, didn't look quite as sharp as he. And I think it's only fair to give Ryan Lindley equal time here to talk about rebuttal time about the pretty boy Miles Burris, right?
Yeah, you know what? I told him I'd have some things to shoot back at him. I think I'm gonna take the high road here. I'm not gonna defame him too much, but I'm just gonna say that we share a bathroom and it's tough. I got to schedule time to get in there, and he's in there about 8 hours a day, and I just sometimes I need to bang the door down to get in there and handle business, and he's always seemed to have something to do looking in the mirror. So I don't know. He's got something to work on there, I guess, as a roommate.
His hair takes a while, I imagine, right?
Yeah,
he's got the hair, whatever it is. He's always she's probably got to shave twice a day, or he thinks he does. I don't know what it is.
That's embarrassing. I mean, there's not a college student anywhere listening right now that doesn't understand your plight right now, having to room with somebody who's a pretty boy. There's no question about that, man. That can drive you crazy.
I'm sure there's a lot of sorority sisters that have that problem, but.
All right, well, then we wanted to give equal time, equal pay here, Ryan. Congratulations on the victory. Good luck against Army on Saturday, and we'll see you on the flight.
All right, thank you, guys.